Hello and welcome to Puran Times Mega. Today, we are going to have a conversation with the celebrity psychiatrist and sexpert, Dr. Rohan Jahagirdaar. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Namaskar.
According to you, what is mental health and why is it important?
So, mental health is just like physical health, and mental health basically one defines the normalcy through it. So, for example, what might be normal for me may not be normal for you. But mental health is the ability to perform everything at best of your abilities, in the best of your emotional and mental capacity, in the sphere of normalcy. So, to do things in best of your ability in terms of your potential, more or less would qualify as mental health.
Okay, that's great. So, next, I would like to ask you that what could be, the causes or symptoms of if someone develops a mental health issue?
Okay. So, mental health is a big topic, a big issue. You would have multiple reasons why somebody's mental health can get affected. Right from having illnesses, major disorders, to simple fights and emotional situations, anything can affect your mental health. If we speak of illnesses, there are major illnesses like we talk of depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolarity. All of them are pathological causes of or biological causes of mental disbalance. They are not caused because you had a fight with somebody. They are illnesses and they come because there is an imbalance in the chemicals in the brain. Other things that can affect mental health on day-to-day basis are stress, different types of stress, addictions, issues related to personalities or interpersonal stress, and your lifestyle. So any of this can qualify as a disturbance to mental health.
Okay.
You also asked what are the signs of that. So basic biodrives like eating, sleeping, your moods, all of them changing could be first signs of having a mental problem.
Okay. All right. So now I would like to ask you that how can someone recognize, the initial signs or symptoms through which they would understand that they are having some kind of mental health issue?
One of the foremost of the first sign of mental issue is sudden change of behavior. So if someone who is very quiet suddenly becomes very talkative, somebody who is very talkative suddenly becomes quiet, somebody who is a very happy-go-lucky person is suddenly very tearful. Anything sudden, a sudden change of behavior in person or his personal traits can be one of the first signs of a mental issue. There can be, like I mentioned, signs in the sleep. So, for example, if a person who was very comfortably sleeping is now not getting sleep, or a person is getting sleep or is getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, one of the first signs that other people can recognize is sudden change of behavior, sudden emotional changes like crying, being tantrums, having irritability, etc., or sudden rise in addictions or abuse of substances. These are the few things which would be one of the first signs of mental issues.
Okay. So now, sir, several people tend to remain shy, or they do not often speak about if they have any mental health issues. So, in such cases, how would you recommend such people to express themselves or talk openly about their if they have any kind of mental health issue?
Okay, now we'll have to understand this in a little more detail. So there is something called as an introvert person. An introvert person is a person who wants to talk to everybody but lacks the ability to do so. There is somebody who is an extrovert who can do anything in terms of meeting people. And there is somebody who is called as a loner who does not want to meet anybody and is very happy in his own space. So first we'll have to differentiate between, suppose I'm a loner, I want to be in my own space, I like that space. If that is my personality, I would not like to change it. But if that is because of illness, I will have difficulties or I will need somebody to assess in terms of that and change that type of approach. How do they approach or how do they express their mental health problems? Best way is to start writing. Journaling will become one of the first ways of expressing because you are not expressing in terms of words directly to somebody, but in form of expression which is written and which is correctable, which is changeable, and which at that point of time is strictly available to you. The other way is to use some other medium. Like people, if you have gone through, there are a lot of sad songs. There are a lot of other things which people say that I am relating to this. When they say they are relating, that does not mean exactly the same thing in that sad song has happened to them. The pain that that guy is expressing in the song is probably that person is relating to you. So kind of examples of similar lines can be used to communicate. But one of the commonest forms, simplest form is journaling or writing down the symptoms.
Okay, okay, right. So now, sir, in terms of today's modern and fast-paced world, how can people ensure that their mental health is good and in a stable condition?
Okay. Challenges in today's modern world is genuinely lack of time for your own self. So first I would say that make some time for yourself. That could be for your exercise, could be for your hobbies, could be for your own people, or just to enjoy something or not do anything, but make time for yourself. The second I would say is pay attention to important things which are important to you. Prioritize them. You cannot have responsibilities, you cannot have only your routine as your priority. There has to be your life, there has to be a game, there has to be an aim towards the whole life of how you intend to do so. How do you work on your mental health? Essentially, give some time for yourself. What is needed for your mental health? So, in certain cases, some people may find doing meditation, doing yoga very helpful, and some people may find going out and playing a sport very helpful. All in all, in today's day and time, the most time that goes away is all use of the social media. So I would strictly advise people to restrict or limit the time they spend on the phone or on WhatsApps. Make some time for yourself. I always advise that at least one meal in the family should be together, and that time, as a rule, make a rule that you switch off your phones. So thereby you are encouraging some form of real conversation. Otherwise, we are all playing the mobile phone, never having a real conversation. So the tips that I would say is at least have specific couple of hours for yourself in a week. Certainly some time of the day for yourself for reflecting, meditating, or doing some form of exercise. Listen to music, get into some hobby. That certainly will be helpful for your mental health.